Hi Pisces, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your 2018 year ahead readings. Now I'm doing the year ahead readings slightly different this time. I'm not doing so much of a predictive style type of reading, even though I don't mind doing those readings at all. That's what my website is based on. A lot of people come to me, will I get married? Will I have a baby? Does so-and-so love me? That's not so much predictive, that's just really what we can see in the cards. You know, will I stay together with my new boyfriend or girlfriend? It's, you know, all of that. So a lot of the readings that we do are predictive, and that's what people come for. They want to know what's going on. They want to know what's potentially going on in their future. These readings here, I wanted to do more, not that I want to give you guys something to work towards, all right? I want to give you some form of goal that you can work towards in order to achieve your dreams in 2018. You got two readings coming up. How do I live my best life in 2018? And the other one is, how do I find true love in 2018? Now, how you live your best life. Just finished, this is, I think, the 10th reading that I'm recording now, for the 10th sign, sorry. And in the other prior readings for Gemini, for example, the key theme for them in 2018 was about finding better friendships. For, I think it was Taurus, the key theme was about not being afraid to chase your dreams, to follow your purpose, and not being afraid to do all those things. You know, another sign was stop living in scarcity, live in abundance. If you want to change your job and stuff and you're worried about the money, don't worry about the money. If you've got a life purpose, you only got one life, live it. So we always find a key theme in the reading, okay? I'll show you. So we're using the Universal Weight Tarot deck for the main reading, and I always use three different cards for the advice. The first set we're using is from the Healing with the Angels. The second deck we're using is Ether and Jerry Hicks Getting into the Vortex for advice, and the third deck we're using is the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Rabbi Valentine. This is the actual layout. I always do readings on myself before I present them, new readings on myself before I present them on the actual channel. My one, this is mine. It was absolutely spot on when I did it on myself last week. I understood everything that it was talking about. Very, very clever. So, without further ado, let's put these cards to the side. The advice cards and the packaging for the Universal Weight Tarot deck, and let's start shuffling on you guys. Universe Spirit, show me, how does Pisces live its best life in 2018? How will Pisces live its best life in 2018? What advice can you give? How will Pisces live its best life in 2018? I want you to show me the reason why Pisces wants to live its best life in 2018 in position 1, and how this has evolved in position 2, stage 1 of them trying to live their best life. What is in position 3 their goals for 2018? What's daisy? What are Pisces goals for 2000? What are Pisces goals for 2018 in position 3? And as a result of those goals, what will they be doing to work towards those goals in position 4? What are their challenges in 2018 or going on before that in position 5? And how will they overcome those challenges in position 6? Stroke, second stage of how they achieve their best life. Third stage, position 7. What does Pisces need to do to continue trying to live their best life in 2018? Position 8, who are Pisces in 2018? And position 9, what influences will be coming in for Pisces that they'll need to deal with? Position 10, what will their hopes and desires be, or hopes or fears be for 2018 in terms of trying to achieve their best lives? And position 11, what is the overall advice that you have for Pisces in terms of how they can live their best life in 2018 and beyond? Show me. Alright, so we've shuffled the cards. I'm going to split the deck into 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, as I was shuffling, I'm shuffling this way, so it's in front of me. If I wanted to lay the cards down in front of me, you guys would see them in reverse. So you wouldn't be seeing the upright of what, you wouldn't be seeing the actual layout properly. You'd be seeing it I'd be seeing the proper layout. You'd be seeing everything upside down. So I have to turn the cards around like that. Still the same way that I shuffled, but I'm turning it around like that so you guys get to see everything, alright? So here we are. This is the reason why. So this is in your foundation. This is the reason why. This is what the heart of the matter is for you guys. As a result of that, this is what you've been doing in order to live your best lives. Position 2, stage 1. Position 3 is what your goals are towards living your goals are in terms of living your best lives in 2018. And position 4 is what you're going to be doing to achieve this goal. This is your challenge, 2018. And this is how you're going to be overcoming it. So this isn't just about the challenge in 2018, Pisces. This might be the challenge that you've been living for a long time. But this is position 6, stroke stage 2 of how you overcome this and how you start living your best life. In position 7, stage 3 of is what you need to do to continue trying to live your best life in 2018 and beyond. This is you guys in 2018, and this is influences coming in that you'll need to deal with, some of you guys. This is your hopes or fears concerning 2018 and living your best lives, and 7 is the overall advice for how you guys are going to be living your best lives in 2018. I'm sorry if the screen has decided to stop, it keeps sticking. That's why in a way I'm not very keen on Mavavi, but I've got another program called Filmora which is even shitter, to be honest with you. Mavavi's not bad, but it does tend to stick. Anyway, that's by the by. So we've got our cards here. And what we'll do is we're going to... Oh, what's going on there? That's because I called it shit. It said, do you want to add the recording? So we're going to cancel on that one. Why are you doing that? Cancel there. There we go. Okay. So the foundation for you guys, and pardon me if I have my ginger, my rose tea at certain times, have a little sup of that. So Pisces, what is the reason for you wanting to live your best life? What's this all about? What's the heart of the matter for you? By the Chariot, Pisces. This is about you guys. I think that the heart of the matter is about success, achieving success, but we can't be as simplistic with that Chariot card when we see it, because the Chariot card is all about achievement. So the real success sometimes is strength, because that talks about the overcoming of an obstacle. This is when you're trying to overcome an obstacle, because you've got 2 sphinxes here, and they are the obstacle. So the root issue is about trying. I have to always look at the Chariot. Sometimes this can say, yeah, it's an immediacy thing. You're home and dry. You've hit the home run. But the Chariot is about, well, I've got these obstacles and I've got these bumps in the road and I've got these sort of inner turmoil type shit going on. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to control the problem, the controversy, the difficulties in order to get that home run, in order to achieve that goal. So this is all about achieving goals with the Chariot energy. And as a result of that, your focus, guys, has, in terms of stage 2 of achieving your goal, what you've decided to do is the Tower. So you guys have decided to rip the rule book up. You've decided to, some of you guys have decided to disband with the situation, leave it, get rid of it, cleanse yourself. Some of you guys would have chucked somebody out with the Tower energy there. The Tower energy, you've got 2 majors already. So you guys, you want victory, you want success, and you've found that there have been difficulties towards that, but you're still trudging on. This is all about overcoming what's the word I'm looking for? Overcoming, it's not diversity, it's something else. Somebody tell me that word, I can't remember what it is. But overcoming obstacles in order to reach success and victory with the Chariot is at the heart of the matter for you guys. And as a result of that, in stage 2, in stage 1 of how you achieve your best life in 2018, it's all about, for some of you guys, literally ripping down an established, something that you've established, ripping down something that you've been living. Some of you guys will be getting rid of a lie. There's an unstable, when you get the Tower, this says this was an unstable foundation, and it really did need to go. So you guys, there is the recognition in stage 1. If you want to live the best life, then you have to get rid of something that's very unstable. It's linked to the Chariot, though, because your focus, at the heart of the matter, this is about you guys moving forward with the Chariot energy. Some of you guys might want to travel, for example. Some of you guys, want to do an amazing thing. You want to do amazing stuff with the Chariot energy. It's all about achieving that victory. But you've got responsibilities and you've got struggles and, you've got the tumultuous energy, and you need to overcome that with the Chariot. So what you guys do in stage 2 is you say, okay, I need to overcome this because I want Chariot, I want success. Well, what do I need to do? Excuse me. Sorry about that. I don't know where that come from. So what do I need to do in the Tower? Well, I need to get rid of something that's very unstable in my life. I need to rip up the rule book. I need to leave. Some of you guys need to leave quick, Tower. But this is all about abandonment and ridding oneself of unhealthy or of unstable energy so that you can start to rebuild. So I think in stage one, the recognition for Pisces has been, well, I need to start rebuilding because I'm on a quest with the Chariot. At the heart of everything, this is about a quest that I'm on. And as a result of that quest, what I've found in the recent past is in order to achieve my better life is I need to make certain radical changes with this Tower energy. Because your goals are the Sun in the reverse. How can the goal be a Sun in reverse? Interesting that your goal will be a Sun in the reverse. I think the Sun in the reverse is really to... I think that this might be something psychological. Because if it's physical, if the goal is external with the Sun in the reverse, and the Sun in the reverse is to delay things. The Sun in the reverse is to take down the veil. It is to wind the clock back. This is all about sunset and not sunrise. So if you looked at the Sun in the reverse in terms of it being a sunset and not a sunrise. Sunrise, this is where the sun is rising in the upright. So the sun is rising, it's a new day, it's a new dawn. There's new and fresh possibilities with the sun energy showing here. There's overcoming of things. There's success, there's vitality, there's, you know, happiness overall. But in the reverse, it says, well, the sun is going down. So some of you guys, the goal might be to close something off now. Because I see the Sun in the reverse as being closure as well. If this is about a new dawn and a new day and a new sunset, and this is about that same day going down, the sun is now going down, the day is now ending. I think for some of you guys, the goal is to close. It is closure, I feel, with this Sun in the reverse as your goal. And as a result of that closure that you guys are aiming towards with the Sun in the reverse, and it's not bad closure, you obviously had something good that happened. So the closure here with the sun in the reverse, you want your sunset. You want the sun to set on something now. Something's got to finally wrap itself up, I feel, with this sun in the reverse. And it's got something to do with this Chariot. Because at the root of everything, for you guys, Pisces, is you want victory and success. And you realise that as a result of that, in stage one with the Tower, you've got to make some radical changes. Because your goal is to conclude with this sun in the reverse, whatever this thing is. It's been going on too long for some of you guys with the Chariot. I think you recognise, guys, that for 2018, if you're going to have this sunset, if you're going to have this final closure on whatever this situation is, Pisces, is you guys are going to need to focus on this, the Four of Swords. I think that your focus is on withdrawing from something here, Four of Swords. So for some of you guys, this isn't even completing it. And I could understand how that would work with the Sun energy. Some of you guys, it might not be that. It might just be, with the Four of Swords, this is to surrender. So this is no longer trying. I don't think this is giving up on this. I think that this is saying, Lord God, I put this in your hands. I'm not going to do this anymore. The focus is for you guys on more spiritual with this Four of Swords. Because you want the sunset. You want the sun to set on this situation. Now you've been trying, Chariot. The foundation is I've been trying to gain success, and I've had a lot of difficult terrain to overcome. You know, I've been taking my horses over this difficult mountain landscape to try and get to where I need to go and try and get to my destination with the Chariot. The Charioteer is never an easy card, never. Think about what Kirk Douglas had to do as a charioteer, or Ben-Hur had to do as a charioteer. You know, all those films in the past with charioteers and how and Gladiator, and how the charioteer never has a smooth run. He's always got these obstacles and these difficulties and these puzzles that he needs to overcome in order to achieve his trophy or his goal. And the foundation, it's all about this for you, that you've had to really try and deal with a very tumultuous time for some of you guys in your pursuit of success and victory. But I think as a result of that, you've recognised, well, stage one to me, living a better life, is possibly to disband even with this, because you've got the Tower. If you notice the imagery, you've got one person between two things, and you've got a Tower between two people. So I think this is more about disbanding with this. I think there's something that you do want to close down here, because your goal is to have the sun in the reverse. This isn't about giving up, but it's to have closure on whatever this thing is. I think it's also the goal is self-acceptance with the sun in the reverse. Accepting what can be achieved and what can't be achieved. And as a result of that, how do you get that? The Four of Swords. Bowing out. Letting it be. Surrendering. Four of Swords. Understanding, accepting. Saying, Lord, if this is in your time, then so be it. If it's not, then so be it. Because your challenge is the Lovers. Now, this isn't a love reading because you've got a love reading coming up, Pisces. So I'm very aware of that people who watch these videos don't want to know about love sometimes. And it's not fair to do 2 love readings. But for some of you guys, it will be a relationship. And there has been a great deal of tumultuous energy with that, with the Lovers energy. For some of you guys, the challenge might be with the Lovers that there is something that you love, but you need to make a head or a heart decision. There needs to be a sacrifice. The Lovers energy, ruled by Gemini... one of the stories that goes with this is Zeus had 2 children, 2 twins. One was born immortal, one was mortal. The immortal one decided to sacrifice his immortality to be with his twin. So this is about absolute love. Absolute love. And sometimes with love, you've got to make a sacrifice. So your challenge is, for some of you guys, the Lovers, it might be a relationship. How much do you love? How much do you care? But it could be anything that you love. How much do you love whatever it is that you love? Do you need to make a sacrifice with the Lovers energy? How you overcome the Lovers, and it could be a choice, is the challenge. It could be your affinity towards something, your propensity to feel an absolute unadulterated love, that it blinds you to everything else, perhaps, Pisces, with this Lovers energy. But how do you overcome the challenge of the Lovers? Well, you get the hell out of there, the Knight of Wands. You leave it. You move on in another direction. That's what you do with the Knight of Wands. That's the second stage to living the best life that you can. Because there's something here I feel that you're just too close to in a way with that Lovers being the challenge. And I think that how you overcome that closeness in whatever it is, career, somebody that you're looking after, somebody that you're in love with, whatever it is, you need to kind of release yourself with that Knight of Wands being the 6th stage, the sixth position, 3rd stage, 2nd stage of how you start achieving your love. There's too much of a closeness going on here with the Lovers energy. Sometimes when you get Lovers 2 of Cups as challenge, you're too entwined with another individual or something else. You're too much in love, so much that you can't see the wood for the trees. And it might be that you need to move out of that energy. You need to get on your back foot and run. The 3rd stage to achieving the best life you can in 2018 is by the 7 of Swords, and this is about avoidance, strategizing. Some of you guys might need to strategize your next move. Some of you guys might need to avoid something here, especially if your challenge is the Lovers. A very strong, powerful, whatever that is for you, a very strong, powerful relationship that you seem to be very, very, very in tune with. But it might not be serving you. There's a reason why. I want to see why the Lovers is your challenge. Why is the Lovers Pisces challenge? Why is the Lovers Pisces challenge? Because of the 7 of Wands. I think that this is your challenge, this Lovers, this whatever this partnership is. Lovers is also partnership. So it might be for some of you guys, there's a partnership here. There's a very strong union that you have once with someone. That's very much a challenge in your, and I think it's a challenge not to you, but I think it's a challenge to your progress and your growth in a way. Because I think with this 7 of Wands, because of this situation, you tend to block everything else out. You seem to reject everything else. So it might be a project that you guys are absolutely in love with and you're like, no, this is going to work, and it's clearly not working. It might be in your foundation. This is what you've been trying to make work for a long time with that Chariot. But the first thing to realising that to realising your better life in 2018 is simply to let this go and disband with it. Because your hopes are that you can let this go with the Sun energy in the reverse, that you can close this down, that you can set the Sun on it. But in order to do that, I think you guys need to withdraw from this. I think the 4 of Swords is saying that you need to withdraw. You need to put this to bed for a little bit of time, because your challenge is you're too in love with this thing. You're too entwined with it. And that is acting to your detriment, because it means that you block everything else out. You don't give anything else a chance because of this energy. For some of you guys, it might be love. I'm not doing love necessarily, because you've got another love reading coming up for how to achieve love in 2018, true love. The third stage of how you achieve your best life is really to avoid, for some of you guys, or to strategize. Because you guys in 2018 and even before that are the Five of Wands in the reverse, which is good. The Five of Wands in the reverse, as you guys, you're coming out of conflict or you're coming out of dispute. There's a certain amount of calmness, I feel, with the Five. You're showing us the Five of Wands in the reverse. So I think that you've left a dispute. I think that you've down sticks and you said, this is something that I cannot win. Five of Wands in the reverse says, I down sticks. I put the stick down. I walk away because this is a fight I can't win. Because I think that you've come to a place of acceptance with this Five of Wands in the reverse. Pisces in 2018. What you'll need to deal with coming in is the World in the reverse, though. So there are still loose ends that you need to tie up. The World in the reverse says that something is not finished. There's still an open-ended situation. There's still unfinished business with the World in the reverse. There's still something more that you need to learn with this World in the reverse. So this is what you guys are going to need to deal with, and I'll see why in a moment. Your hopes or fears. I think that this is a hope with this Nine of Coins in the reverse. I think that your hope is to come out of the gilded cage. And the gilded cage I see as being the lovers. Because your challenges are so entwined in something that you do, in something that you love, something that you're mad about. It could be a person, partnership, work, career, project, whatever it is, you're really in love with it. That's your challenge. So much so that you block everything and everyone out to the detriment of whatever this is. And that's why your hopes are to come out of the gilded cage that this thing has put you in with the Nine of Coins in the reverse. The overall advice for you, Pisces, if you want to live a better life in 2018, is the Emperor in the reverse. This is to let down those barriers. In the upright, this is somebody who's a stickler. In the reverse, this is listen. Listen. It's not written in stone that you have to do this challenge. And I think this is a very intrinsic part of this reading. The challenge, I think, is very strong in terms of what this reading is about. Whatever this means for you, Pisces. I think it's very intrinsic. Because the Emperor would be the type of person that would hold on to that shit. If his challenge is, for example, if you love Turkish Delight, and you absolutely love Turkish Delight, and that's your challenge, to the detriment of you guys saying, no, I don't want to get fit, and I'm not listening to you. You tell me that I eat too much Turkish Delight, but I love it, so I'm going to stick with it, and that's your challenge. It might be that the overall outcome, if it was a predictive reading, maybe with this Emperor, is that you stick to it. You don't listen to anyone. You do what you want to do. You believe in Turkish Delight as the Emperor. And that's it. But in the reverse, the advice with the Emperor is, come out of that safety zone. Open yourself up. Don't be such a stickler for what you consider to be the right thing to do. Because Emperors represent people who are sticklers. In the upright, they tend to stick with the status quo. If something's always been done in one way, they'll stick with it. Because they're authority figures and they often think that they're in the right. That's the problem with the Emperor. But in the reverse, this person is a nonconformist. This person's breaking the rules. This person's breaking the tradition of a lifetime, the habit of a lifetime. This person starts to conform. They start to listen. So how you achieve your better life is by breaking those rules now. Stepping out of this thing here, which I think is intrinsic to whatever this is. We're going to get this reading again. I'm going to see if we can get some clarifiers on this, Pisces. You guys are showing us the Five. How you live your best life. This is what the reading is. Let me just get a little drink of my rose tea. So for you, Pisces, how do you live your best life in 2018? So what we're seeing here is that you guys in 2018 are this Five of Wands reversed. And in a way, it's really weird because you have conceded defeat for some of you guys with the Five of Wands. Because that's that type of card it is. Yes, it is a card about coming out of conflict, coming out of worries, coming out of confusion, accepting that sometimes you are not as strong as you thought you were with this Five of Wands reversed. Five of Wands in the upright is all about arguments and disputes with others and worries and blockages with others and also within the self. Now, if this is you, I think that you're coming out of a time of blockage. And for some of you guys, this might be that you have conceded, look, I can't win whatever this thing is. We'll see why you guys are the Five of Wands in the reverse, actually. Let's have a look at why you're the Five of Wands. Why is Pisces the Five of Wands in the reverse in 2018? The Two of Swords. Well, I think that you guys have come out of a very blocked state of mind because of the Two of Swords. I think that you have conceded and you have accepted with the Five of Swords, sorry, with the Five of Wands in the reverse, that you need to possibly put your defences up with the Two of Swords energy, that you need to block certain people out perhaps with the Two of Swords. But I think there's an acceptance here. I don't think there's any, because Five of Wands can be confusion. So I don't think there's any confusion here. I think that you have come to a place of reality, or you've come to a place of acceptance that you need to block certain people out with that Two of Swords. Two of Swords is not just about indecisiveness. I think if you've come to the point of acceptance with this Five of Wands in the reverse, then with the Two of Swords, this is that you need to have your guard up. You need to make sure that you're keeping your friends close but your enemies completely away from you. So I think that you have come to a point of acceptance that you need to put your guard up. But also with the Two of Swords, I think that this Five of Wands is that you've come to a place of acceptance that this is not just about blocking people out, but really focusing on you, because the Two of Swords is also about self-focus. So some of you guys, it might be not necessarily blocking people out, but this is a card that might say, well, I've come to a point of acceptance with the Five of Wands energy. And for some of you guys, if you are letting go of disputes with others, it might be, well, I've come to a point of acceptance that I need to block out what I consider to be negative energy, or I've come to a place of acceptance where I need to just focus on the self. Because in your foundation, the reason why you're trying to live your best life in 2018 is that you guys have been on a quest with this Chariot here for success, but you've had obstacles that you've needed to overcome. And I feel that it's not been an easy road with this Chariot energy showing here. You're still up for the fight, you're still in it, but it's not been easy. And I think as a result of that, you guys have, in the first stage of living your better life, you said, you know what, actually, I'm going to disband with that. So therefore, I think that this is about you guys realising and coming to a conclusion and accepting that you need to do a bit of self-focus in 2018. Because I think that you guys here in your foundation, this has, and for some of you guys, it's not just about successful victory. Some of you Pisces, it might be that you've had a lot of responsibilities. Cards that show responsibility, as I've found in the tarot, are where people are having to look after others. A Chariot and Hierophant. They're cards that show people at the helm and two objects or two people at the bottom. Devil is another one. So this can show people who have huge responsibilities towards others. And it might be that the reason why you want to live a better life is that you've got a huge responsibility. This is Cancer. It rules the house of family and responsibility and children and all of that stuff. Some of you guys, it might be Pisces that, well, the root issue is that you have a lot of responsibilities here with this Chariot. But in order to have your better life, it's about getting rid of those responsibilities with the Tower energy. Because your goals are to put time on this thing, to close this thing down now with the Sun energy. It's had its time in the Sun, whatever the situation is, but now it's time to put down the shutters and to close shop. And the way that you guys are going to do this is by withdrawing. It's withdrawing from having to do this. Because you know that you need to close shop on the situation. You need to close it down. You need to end it now. Your challenge is, though, that you have a real affinity and a real connection, an emotional connection, a psychic connection to whatever this is. So much so that you have been ignoring and blocking out other opportunities with the Seven of Wands. Because you've been so much in love with this thing that you've been blocking out other opportunities that have come your way. People who have proposed things to you. And you said, I can't do that because I'm so in love with this thing that I'm doing, or this person, or whatever it is. I can't do this. So whatever this challenge of the Lovers is something that you are so in love with. So in love with. But the problem is it's not allowed you to grow. Because you've ignored and you've blocked out and you've rejected other opportunities for growth with the Seven of Wands. The way that you overcome that challenge, though, in your quest to live a better life, in stage 2 of how you live your better life, position 6 is the Knight of Wands. You go with what your gut instinct tells you to. Now, your gut instinct is telling you that you accept with the Five of Wands that you need to focus on yourself. Because I think that some of you guys have given your all to people. And you've given your all and you've given everything. And you've really had to steer a lot of people. And you've had to help a lot of people with this Chariot here. But you recognise stage 1 of how I live my better life is really to disband with all of this. You are the Tower. As you are the Charioteer, you are now the Tower. Once you were looking after and you were helping those people who asked for the help. And now you've become the tower, and you've said, no, I can't. And so you're the erupting tower now. You're like, "Urgh." Once where you were this, I'm helping you, I'm steering you, I'm supporting you. Now you're like, "Urgh." Bam, I'm sorry, I can't do that anymore. Because my goal is to shut up shop now. The sun, we had our good times. It was all good once, but now it's time to shut shop up. And the way that I do that, the way that I work towards slowing down with this sun card as well, for some of you guys this is slowing down, is to rest. Some of you guys it will be that you're looking to retire, for some of you guys this year, in order to live a better life. Because your challenge is you've been in love with whatever this thing is. So much so that you've denied yourself all sorts of opportunities with that Seven of Wands. But how you overcome that challenge is by pursuing this new direction that you clearly want in these two cards here. The third stage for how you live your better life is the Seven of Swords. And this is about strategizing, having a clear plan of action. Planning is the Seven of Swords energy. So this is about planning your next stage. And why do we have this Seven of Swords? Why is the Seven of Swords the third stage for how Pisces live their better lives in 2018? King of Cups. I think that this is about avoiding, and I don't think this is you, by the way. It could be you. And if this is you, Pisces, this is about avoiding I would say that this was definitely avoiding. It's not strategizing now, because you're avoiding a card reversed. Alright? Not unless you're planning to become this. And this wouldn't be such a bad thing if people are asking too much of you. Somebody who becomes a little bit, you know, reticent. But I don't think it's that. I think that you need to avoid manipulators. King of Cups reversed. People who have their own agenda at heart. So the third step to living your better life, and it might be that your challenge has been a very strong bonded relationship in which that has stopped you from doing what you've wanted to do. And if that's the case, then you need to get the hell out of there. Not the relationship necessarily, but you need to get out of this strong bondedness, because Gemini rules the twins. I'm a twin, so I know what it feels like to have such a strong twin bond. It's unbreakable. It really is. It's like you've got another part of you. Paulette's my twin sister. I love her to the moon and back, you know. She's everything to me. My twin is everything. If she's going through her, I'm going through her. I dream about my twin sometimes. I dream if she's hurting, if she gets a new job, I've dreamt that she's got new jobs. If she's upset, if she's going through a tough time, I dream that she's going through a tough time. We phone each other every single day without fail. If she's had a dream, she'll say, Kaz, I had a dream last night. Can you do a tarot reading on it? I'm thinking of introducing Dream Tarot. So interpreting people's dreams, because I've been really accurate with the dreams that I've interpreted for my twin sister. So Lovers is the sign of Gemini, the twins. This is the most strongest bond you can ever get. It really is. The union is powerful, it's strong. It doesn't have to be romantic love. It can just be my Lovers card. For me, is my twin sister. She's my twin sister. It's the sign of the twins. We are bonded, but that's because we're twins. You can be bonded with the Lovers to your mum. You can be bonded with the Lovers to your dad. You can be bonded with the Lovers to your job. My Lovers is also the tarot. It's my twin. It's a part of me. I do it every single day. It is intrinsic in me now. I cannot imagine a time when I would ever not do it. This isn't something for the short haul. This is something for life. And if I never did tarot again, I would feel lost. It's one of those things where you just know it's your soulmate. The tarot is my soulmate. My twin sister is my soulmate. Who is this soulmate for you? Because this soulmate is making you do a lot of bad things. Pisces, this soulmate, whoever that is, whether it's your job, your partner, whoever it is, they're making you block out other opportunities. This is not a situation where you can grow. And that's why you guys, the best way to overcome that challenge is by leaving it, the Knight of Wands. It's about pursuing. What is it that you guys need to pursue? Or why is it that you need to leave this with the Knight of Wands energy? You got the Knight of Wands facing out of that Temperance. So the best way that you overcome this challenge is by leaving this very settled. For some of you guys, it might be a Sagittarius person we're looking at with Temperance. But you need to, with the Knight of Wands, I'm looking at the direction now. Also, no, some of you guys, I think here, you need to pursue, if you want, because you're not getting balance here, that's the problem. You guys aren't getting balance. Your challenge is just so entwined in some form of union, very strong union, whatever that's in. You're so in love with something in your life that it makes you give up other opportunities with the Seven of Wands. Now, if you want to live your best life, you need to overcome that by moving in another direction, but also by pursuing a more balanced environment or a more balanced life, or pursuing something that gives you more control with this Temperance energy showing here, Pisces. Some of you guys, you need to leave this Temperance, leave this environment that encourages you just to go with the flow and not to look outside of yourselves at anything else. And therefore the third stage is you avoid, and I think some of you guys need to avoid a manipulator. You might need to avoid a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancerian individual, or avoid somebody who puts a lot of emotional blackmail on you. Because it's clear here, whoever this person is around you, whether this is the boss that says we really need you here, and you know, please don't take that holiday because I really need you here to man this thing or to do this thing, or whether this is the partner that says, but you can't do that. You can't leave and do that because what am I going to do? You know, you've looked after me for years. If you go and get this job, what am I going to do? How am I going to eat? Who's going to wash my clothes? Who's going to do this? You need to avoid somebody who wants to emotionally manipulate you. That's how you start living your better life. So this is about getting hard ass for some of you Pisces. Getting real hard ass on certain people who want to manipulate you into staying in a certain position in life. Your goal is to close up shop. You've earned your stripes. You've done your time. Some of you guys have been at the helm. These cards that show people in front and two little things there, they're at the helm of something. So the Charioteer is not just about success. It's also, well, I'm at the helm. So the reason that you want to live a better life is because you've always been at the helm. You've always been the driver, the bus driver. Without you, things might just fall apart, Pisces. When I was growing up, my mum died in 2013, and we always used to call her the driver on the bus. And we always, before she died, when we were young, we used to say, I wonder what it'd be like if Mummy got off the bus, if Mum stopped driving it. It would be this. It wasn't that when she died anyway. We were able to cope, we were okay. But it would be this. If you get off the bus, it would be this. This is what this person thinks here. Whoever this individual is, if you get off that bus, Pisces, it will be this. They'll be like, whoa, no, don't. You need to avoid people who manipulate you. You need to avoid people who tell you that you shouldn't be doing something because they're doing it because of themselves and their own fears. You've been at the helm, I feel, with this Chariot of control, of looking after others, of being responsible for others. But right now, stage 1 of living a better life is saying, hell no, not doing that. Stage 3 of living your better life, avoid manipulation from others. Avoid emotional blackmail from others, which is King of Cups in the reverse. What you guys will need to deal with coming in is the World in the reverse. And why will Pisces need to deal with the World in the reverse coming in? 8 of Cups. I think that this is more about you guys walking away from things that have unfinished business. Okay. So the World in the reverse says, this is unfinished. There is still things that are open. There are still questions that need to be asked. But I feel that what you'll experience coming in is you guys are not going to be closing anything up here. You're not going to be finalising whatever this situation is with this individual here, because you're avoiding emotional blackmail from an individual. So the third stage to achieving the best life that you can in 2018 is avoiding people who want to emotionally blackmail you into staying in this. Because what you'll experience coming in is the World energy here in the reverse. But you've got the 8 of Cups facing out of it. So this says, and it's good, because this really says, you know what, I'm not willing to see my time out with this situation. World in the reverse. So in a way, the both cards become the World upright. You are closing a cycle because you're not willing to finish something here. You're not willing to see it through because this has got you in this. This has got you missing out on all kinds of opportunities. This very strong union, that's your challenge. This has got you missing out on all kinds of opportunities in the past, Pisces. And you guys say to yourself, hell no. Hell no. You know what, I want a better life, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to avoid this emotional blackmail and manipulation from others that want to keep me here, that want to stop me pursuing my highest goals. But what is it you need to do? What is it that's coming in? Well, it's good. World in the reverse and the Eight of Cups. The World in the reverse is linked to this King of Cups because this is the person that doesn't want you to close up shop. But you say, look, you know what? I'm leaving things, I'm walking away from this. It is unfinished business between you and I, or between this situation. I think that more than anything, this is about what you'll experience coming in, is that, because it's a difficult one in a way. You've got the World in the reverse here, which means something is still open-ended. I think that this is more about you guys taking a break with these two cards, because we don't have the World in the upright, where it says, you know, there's an ending to a cycle and now you're moving on. Because this hasn't ended. So it's almost like the option is open. It's not in the reverse, the option open being to return to it. But what you'll experience is, I think with this World in the reverse, is the open option to walk away. So you have that choice. I feel that now when I look at this card, it's more about a choice that you have. But all I'm seeing is somebody walking away from the World in the reverse, from unfinished business, from things that still haven't, non-resolution. For some of you guys, I think what you'll experience coming in, Pisces, is the non-resolution of a situation with whoever this character is that will force you to have to take a break and to walk away from it. Because this person, I feel, in 2018 is going to want one thing and you're going to want another. Whether it's your boss, your lover, whoever it is. Somebody's trying to manipulate you into staying in this little cage. Because your hopes are the Nine of Coins in the reverse. Now, the Nine of Coins in the reverse can either be... I mean, in the upright, it's about independence, yes. And in the reverse, it can be money-wise, bad investments. But I don't think this is a money reading. Or this can be, I want to come out of a gilded cage. Or this can indeed be, if you've been single or independent or lived on your own, you go and you live with somebody else. But this is more, I think, about coming out of a gilded cage. And I want to see why your hopes are the Nine of Coins in the reverse. Why are Pisces' hopes the Nine of Coins in the reverse? Six of Swords. Okay. I now think that this is a fear. That if you stay, Nine of Coins in the reverse, committed to whatever this situation is, you will not move on. You will not move on. And therefore the advice is the Emperor in the reverse. And why is the advice the Emperor in the reverse for how Pisces lives its better life? Why is Pisces? Why is it? Why is the advice the Emperor in the reverse for how Pisces lives its better life in 2018 and beyond? Because of the Hermit. I think that the advice is don't conform to what other people want. If you want a better path, or if you want transition, or if you're seeking a new path in life, because the Hermit can be to seek a new path in life. And I feel that this energy is saying do not conform. Emperor's reverse, don't conform. Don't conform to somebody else's desires if you want to seek a new path, with that Emperor energy showing here. Because the Emperor is looking in at the Emperor. The Hermit is looking in on the Emperor and the reverse. This is what he's seeking. He's seeking freedom. The Emperor reverse represents freedom. It represents to break away from the status quo. So the advice is to break away from the status quo. The Hermit in the upright can also be to withdraw. So break away from the status quo and withdraw. Seek freedom with this Emperor energy. Seek your own path. Seek doing things on your own terms and not necessarily having to conform to everybody else's ideology or beliefs. We'll get this reading again. How does Pisces live its best life in 2018? Well, I think that you've conceded with this Five of Wands in the reverse that you need to focus on who you are with this Two of Swords in 2018, Pisces. Because I think the heart of the matter that is kind of influencing you to live your better lives is that you guys have had a lot of responsibilities with this Chariot over others. And I think stage one of you living your better life is to disband with those responsibilities, to shrug these responsibilities off, because I see you guys as the Tower. You are showing now as the Tower. Once you were the nurturing charioteer who was trying to steer people in the right direction, whether it's family, friends, whatever it is. You had those responsibilities to do that. But now you have become the cold hard Tower in stage two, and you said, actually, I can't be responsible for all of this. So you know what? You guys are just going to have to leave the building, please. Because your goal is to shut up shop. You've been of service. You've been of service. Your goal is to put the shutters down, sun in the reverse, close shop. But the only way that you can do that, achieve that, is if you withdraw. Four of Swords. Go on a hiatus, withdraw from whatever this thing is. Your challenge is the Lovers. Some of you guys are so entwined. You have such a union with this thing. You are so connected with whatever this thing is for you guys. Relationship, job, whatever it is. That you seem to have ignored or rejected other opportunities to experience other things. But the way, in the second stage of how you live your better life, Pisces, the way that you achieve overcoming that challenge is by leaving the Knight of Wands in order to pursue balance, temperance. Or leaving the very thing that you have been going with the flow with, just accepting and dealing with day in and day out. But this will take strength, because third stage of how you achieve your better life is by avoiding manipulators. King of Cups in the reverse. Avoiding people who tell you, but stay here. It's safer here. It's better here. Why do you want to go and do that for? So it's avoiding manipulators, avoiding people who put the emotional blackmail on you. Because what you'll experience is the world in the reverse. And this is still an open-ended situation. So, you know, you're going to walk away from something that is still open-ended. So you will have, I feel with these two cards, still the chance to return to whatever this is. So it might be that you leave your options open with the world in the reverse, but you decide to walk away with the Eight of Cups. Because your fears will be that if you don't seek independence with that Nine of Coins in the reverse, that you'll always remain stuck where you are. Six of Swords in the reverse. And therefore the advice for you guys in how you live your better life in 2018 is to break the chain, the Emperor in the reverse. Break away from whatever this status quo has been for however long time. Don't conform to what other people want you to do if you want to seek a new path with the Hermit. Also, the Hermit looks in at the Emperor, so the advice is seek difference. Seek freedom, Emperor in the reverse. Don't adhere to what others tell you need to be doing in 2018. Follow your own path. Because other people will try and keep you where they want you to be, Pisces, because they think it's safe or it's better or you should stick with that. But really what this reading is saying is the Emperor is the advice in the reverse. It's telling you don't conform. Emperor's reverse, don't conform. Take down those barriers and seek a new path with the Hermit. Seek non-conformity in everything that you do. Seek difference. Seek alternatives. There's something here that you guys, and you're certain of it because you're showing us the Five of Wands. And I read the Five of Wands as finally acceptance. Reaching a point of calm. There's no more frustration or worry or lack of clarity. I think you guys have conceded that you do want to focus on the self. But there's somebody here, I think in the third stage, you need to avoid this person's manipulation because they want to keep you as this. You haven't grown because you've been this. You've ignored all opportunities because of that in your challenge. But the advice is to seek freedom. And also the Temperance card can be one of control. So how do you overcome this? Release yourself with the Knight of Wands from anyone who would choose to try and control you. Or seduce you with the Temperance energy showing here. I would say now this is seek freedom from anyone who's going to try and control or could seduce you with that temperance energy. Look at what the temperance man does. He's the alchemist. He's trying to pour one cup of water into the other to achieve balance. This is a very, very diligent, very focused individual here. But you want freedom. So seek freedom. Move. Leave people who are trying to control the elements in this relationship, in this situation. Because you're going to need to avoid somebody who's going to put all of the emotional manipulation on you. Coming in, there is still open energies, I feel, with the world energy. I think that there is unfinished business. But you guys need to still take a break from this. You need to still pursue something. Also, the world in the reverse. There are still opportunities that are open to you, so pursue them. Eight of Cups. Advice finally, don't conform if you want to follow your own path. Temperance and the King of Cups in the reverse, I would reckon, are the same people. Over-controlling individuals. People that like to control things meticulously at every single stage. Avoid King of Cups in the reverse. Run out on Temperance. Somebody's being very meticulous on how they're trying to control you. For some of you Pisces. And the King of Cups reverse can be a manipulator in terms of trying to control others emotionally. Okay? Avoid manipulators in 2018 and do your own thing. Let's have a look at the advice for this reading. So, let's get these up here. Universe, Spirit, through the power, Tarot Angels. Let's move these boxes here actually. Through the Power Tarot Angels, Archangel Power Tarot cards, what is your advice for Pisces in how they live their lives? The best lives that they can in 2018, show me. Queen of Gabriel. Is that Wands? Passionate, charming, brilliant, independent. You can do anything right now. There you go. That's your advice, number one. I think this is Queen of Wands in this deck. Queen of Gabriel. Passionate, charming, brilliant, independent. You can do anything right now. Go after what you want. The ability to attract helpful people. Yeah, Queen of Wands. You got to be that Queen of Wands. Go after anything you want right now. People or whoever it is around you will be afraid of your power. Because your challenge is the lovers. You're too tight in a situation or with a person. And this has made you guys avoid or reject other opportunities coming to you. This person here that you need to avoid is afraid of your power. Avoid this person trying to manipulate you. The other advice that we have is from getting into the vortex. What is the advice that you have for Pisces in 2018 for how they can live their best lives? What is the advice that you have for Pisces for how they live their best lives in 2018? Yeah, my every thought is attracting vibrational essence. And this says, whether you are thinking about wanted things or unwanted things, you are still sending out a request to attract more things like the subject of your thought. And all things that happen to you, all people, things, experiences that come to you come in response to your vibrational invitation. Noticing how things are turning out for you is one very clear way of understanding which vibrational results you are emanating. Because you are always getting the essence of what you are thinking about, whether you want it or not. So think positive thoughts. If you want to attract in the difference, you've got to start thinking in that way. Okay? Because the universe reacts to whatever your vibration is. Be powerful with the Queen of Wands. This is also a card of attraction. So the running theme is you are always attracting in what you want or what you don't want. If you want difference in 2018, Pisces, you've got to put the vibrational energy out there that you want this. And this is what you've got to think. This is what the line of thought you've got to have through 2018. Here, you've held yourself back. Your challenge is to be so much in love with whatever this situation is that you have rejected opportunities. But you can no longer do that. Because what you're after is alternative and difference in 2018. So be the change. The final advice that the universe has for you guys in how you find or live your best life in 2018 is, what is the final bit of advice you have for Pisces in terms of how they live their best lives in 2018? Show me. Healing has come up here. So let's just quickly have a look at the healing. There's something that you guys need to heal. A situation that has caused you concern is on the mend. You are a natural healer and your healing thoughts have manifested into form. Sometimes a situation cannot heal unless you release the challenge completely so that healing light can enter it. Your worries will soon be over because this card signifies that a healing has occurred. To realize this healing, however, you must first stop focusing on what is wrong exactly. Be the vibration that you want. And instead affirm everything is in divine order and perfect order right now. You have natural healing abilities, and this card asks you to have faith that God works through you. As an earth healing angel, hold thoughts of love around you, any situation that seems to need healing. Visualize the situation is healed right now. Then give thanks to God for his healing and completely release everything to the angels. The powerful effects of your healing work touch many lives. And it's true. It is true. You guys know you are completely in tune with who you are. 5 of Wands in the reverse. You are, you know, at that point where you have said to yourself, you've confirmed. You have affirmed with the 5 of Wands in the reverse that I want to focus on myself. You want to shut down shop with the sun. These areas here, 1, 2, 3. 3 areas that show that Pisces want to shut up shop, take a break, and focus on the self. But there's areas that show you guys are still in the mire with responsibilities, and it's here. Your challenge, the love that you have for whatever this situation is making you, has encouraged you not to take other opportunities. And here, in which the third stage is you need to avoid people who emotionally manipulate you. This person is here. Your fears are if you don't come out of the gilded cage, you'll always be stuck. 6 of Swords in the reverse. You'll never move forward. You'll never have progress. Be the change that you want to be. Heal whatever the fear is inside of you. Put out positive vibrations to the universe as to what you want. It's clear that you want it here and here and here and here. It's very clear in 4 areas out of 11 that what you want. But you have to be that change, and you have to be assertive and confident enough to create those changes. Because once you start building that confidence and assertiveness up, you can achieve anything. You can attract. The Queen of Wands will always attract. Avoid manipulators and people who tell you need to stay in this, because it's not getting you anywhere. Be the change, and you'll be amazed at what changes can come in for you in 2018, Pisces. That is your reading for how you go about living your best life in 2018, Pisces. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and I will speak to you guys on your love reading.